and it feels like
I can see the love, the energy, the power coming straight through, okay? And of course, we have the legendary Pressure Busspipe joining us right now, okay? It's a pleasure, it's a blessing each and every time. Big shout out to all those tuning in, sending lots of love, lots of blessings, enjoying the vibes. And of course, what we've heard so far is just a little bit of the greatness, okay? And of course, the album is called Heights of Greatness, and we're getting ready to speak to the one and only Pressure Busspipe. You there?
Yes, give thanks. Yeah, man. Big up everyone. Love, love.
Yes, greetings, blessings once again. You know what, Pressure Busspipe? First of all, I want to congratulate you on the album. It's a great piece of work.
Yes, much love. Give thanks for that. Yeah, man. Appreciate that. You know what I mean? Enough
Anytime.
work put into it and enough passion and stuff like that. So, truly grateful.
Definitely. So, you know, first of all, let's introduce you, let the listeners know a little bit about who is Pressure Busspipe.
Pressure Busspipe, born and raised in St. Thomas, U.S. Virgin Islands. You know, very musical, came from a humble background. My father was a musician as well. You know, played for at least 40 years before myself. You know what I mean? So he transcended. You know, give rest in eternal peace to him.
Yeah.
But I came from a background where my father was a musician and my mother was just a working class person from the ghetto, you know. So I came up wanting to be a lot like my dad, you know, playing drums and stuff like that, you know. Being an artist and stuff was really kind of far-fetched for me, you know.
Yeah.
But I know that I really wanted to be a part of music. So looking up to my dad and hearing all the great things from other musicians about him, of course I wanted to walk in that light, you know what I mean, and become something great and be talked about, you know.
Yeah.
So growing up, I would play the drums. I've learned to play the trumpet, you know, and also the steel pan and stuff like that, you know, and learning all these instruments. Of course, reggae music has always been, you know, my favorite music. I've been listening from Shabba Ranks, was the first artist cassette I actually purchased, you know what I mean. So I've been listening to reggae music all through my childhood and growing up and stuff like that. So I always had visions of, you know, doing great things musically, you know, but I never thought it would actually be me as the artist, you know, me performing in front of people. I always thought that I would be a drummer for a big top band, you know, and, you know, traveling the world as a musician like my father used to do. And, you know, just sometimes have greater things in store for you, you know what I mean?
Definitely.
So I just work with the flow and, you know, keep it going like that.
So with that being said, why did you feel like you wouldn't be the artist? Did you not believe in yourself at that time, or it just wasn't the calling for you?
No, at that time, growing up, me being an artist was just a hobby, you know. It was just something like I like to sing reggae music like anybody else, but my heart was really to play the drums, you know. I wanted to be a real drummer. In high school, I was the top drummer in high school, you know. I've traveled with the high school band to even London to perform amongst other bands, competing and stuff like that. I was a part of the jazz band, I was a part of the marching band, the concert band, the steel band. I was the drummer for every aspect, you know what I mean? So my school growing up, they know me for being a drummer, people who went to school with me, you know, and so I was really aspiring to be that. And reggae music, of course, was my heartbeat. So I would, on my spare time away from all of that, I'll be playing reggae music and learning how to play the reggae music on the drums and learning to knock them and, you know what I mean, how to use a rim shot and stuff like that. And it was just that for me in high school, you know.
Wow. What a journey already, you know, like just listening to that, it seems so powerful, so kind of just humble beginnings, humble background, and you're still very humble person from what I can hear. And you know, you spoke that your dad had passed, you know, rest in eternal power. Did he get to see you perform and play, and if so, how did he feel about it?
Yes, well, I mean, of course, in my earlies, my dad was a very busy person too. He worked a lot. He had like 5 jobs.
Wow.
You know, he was on the radio station from 10. He was actually on the top radio station in the Virgin Islands as a radio personality for many years.
Yeah.
You know, and even a year before his passing, he was on the radio. So I would say over 50 years on radio.
Wow.
He was one of the founding people for a radio station in the Virgin Islands, period. You know, my dad came from way back when things were like, you know, there wasn't much car and thing there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for me now, he would come to my anything for school, you know. But when it comes to school, my mom would be there when it comes to the academics. But when it comes to like anything like me performing in the arts in school and stuff, he would always be present, you know.
Wow.
So he would never try to miss anything like that.
Yeah.
You know, and so that's where I would have him. And then, you know, not being good in school and following the teachers, and you know, I was failing in a lot of subjects except music. So it's like when I bring home my report card, it was like I'm failing in every subject, and music was like I have an A plus.
Okay.
You know, I'm on top 100. You know.
Yeah.
So it was clear to see, like, you know, I've already mastered one thing, but I needed to get my academics together to move on to the next grade.
Yeah.
You know. So, you know, following company and, you know, through coming from the ghetto and stuff like that, you know, we have little gang war in school and getting myself into fights and thing away from the music. And, you know, it was just me as a youth going down a bad road through, you know, the company I was keeping and stuff like that. So, you know.
Yeah, for real.
So my mother decided that she's going to send me away to live with my uncle to finish high school, because my uncle was more strict with academics and his children were doing well and they had a lot more time for me, and you know. So my mom sent me away to live with my uncle, and one of the things my uncle did was he took me away from music.
Okay.
You know, he's like, okay, like, all right, you don't have time to do music, only academics, so you're gonna get this together. You know what I mean? We already know you're a great drummer. We already know you could do this. But now it's time to get this together.
Yeah.
You know? So me not having the drums and the trumpet and being able to be musical like that, I turned all of that inspiration into writing music.
Yeah.
You know? I would be in my room, and this is me at 16, 17 years old. I'll be in my bedroom writing music when I get home from school. I finish my homework, and I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to go outside and play. I don't want to do nothing. I just want to listen to some music and write some music and stuff like that. So, you know, it was that breaking point for me, you know.
Yeah.
Where I had no choice. It was like I had to do something, and for me, right then and there was the calling.
Wow.
You know?
Wow. You know what? I hope that when people are listening, they're taking some inspiration from that story, because it's very powerful what you're saying. And you know, you spoke a little bit there about gun crime and things like that, but I understand as well that you did a peace concert in regards to gun crime and so forth. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, man. The peace concert was something I, along with a couple of my brethren, we put together that for the community, you know, and involve the community. It's a free concert, you know, where it started out from 12 o'clock noon, where we started off with a parade, you know, where we involve the majorettes and, you know, little troops that would gather for the carnival.
Yeah.
We invited them to be a part of this parade as a community effort, you know. And the whole thing about it was to involve the community so that the community can come out and support free of charge.
Yeah.
You know, the only thing you would pay for is the drinks and food like that, which was available on the campus. But, you know, it was just for the community to shine a light on the talent that we have in the community. You know, whether you might be a African dancer, you know, you dance to the drums and stuff like that, or you might be a poet. You know, we had columns, and we had separated different columns where this is from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock is a parade. You know, from 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock it will be this segment. You know, everything was segment out until later on in the evening when the actual concert started.
Yeah.
You know, so it was something to really get the community involved, and it was just that, you know.
Yeah.
Everyone came out. I got the support from the governor, from senators, from every distinguished, you know, and guests from all over, people who heard about it on the mainland, and you know, and of course I had Peter Morgan on one of the shows. I also had the show that got cancelled, the last one, which was the one that a storm came the day nobody saw it coming, and it we had Queen Ifrica on that one. We also had Dwayne Stevenson on that one. So the community was well involved and much so looking forward every year for the concerts.
Definitely.
So of course to put on a concert so large, and it being so free, I had to seek support from the government. You know what I mean? I had to seek support from private entities and sponsors and stuff like that, and still my own money. You know what I mean? So even though at the first year I did the show, I lost, even though it was a gain for me. You know what I mean? Because of the amount of people that came. But the amount of money what was sponsored towards the show was very little. Even though the show turned out. So I had to use my own money, which I was able to make back most of it, being honest. And I made back $1,000, and I lost $1,000 or $900. Right? The second time I did the show, I got a little bit more sponsorship, but I still had to use up a lot more of my resources because of the vision of me taking the show on a different level. So every year I wanted to make the show even bigger. So I had to put my money where my mouth is. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
If I don't get enough sponsorship from the government, that means that I have to come up with the rest, because I'm not going against what the people have been looking forward to. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So the next year we put together the show, and it was even better. Everybody enjoyed the show, but even though I got more sponsorship, I still lost more money. So which was about $8,000.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
You know what I mean? So I'm still going in, because this is my vision. To me, it's like it's still a win, because 8,000 for me would probably be promotion towards an album or something like that. So for me, this is looked at that's it as if it's the same situation. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
And I'm winning because the people are enjoying it, and every year more and more people are coming. So the next year now, of course, the vision is bigger.
Of course.
Now I'm bringing more artists. I have Queen Ifrica coming. I have Dwayne Stevenson coming. I have artists from St. Croix, St. John, St. Thomas, Tartola. Like at this time, every artist wants to be a part of the Peace Concert. And it's a free event, so I'm not paying anybody to perform. This is a free showcase. I'm reaching out to people and asking them if they could come and be a part of it. And if they couldn't make it, if the schedule couldn't agree with it, then it would be the case. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So the third year now, which everybody was looking forward to, it was a bang. You know what I mean? I got a lot. I got even way more support from the government on the third year. And the show rained out.
Wow.
The show just rained out, and it was even a greater loss for me this year.
Wow.
Because it was like, you know what I mean? This was the year that I decided, you know what? I'm going to put a fee on the door. I'm going to charge $20 for a $100 concert. You know what I mean? So I'm going to charge $20, which is a small sniping. And the people were not upset with it. Everybody was so into it still. It was like, listen, see it as a donation towards what Pressure Them is trying to push forward. So everybody was still in full support of it. So now I'm spending more money because I'm expecting to make back money. You know what I mean?
For real.
Make back, you know what I mean? Especially now that I'm putting a tag on the gate.
Definitely.
So the show ran out. It was a complete storm. I'm talking about the sirens on the island went off, the tsunami sirens.
Wow.
Everything went off. It was really bad. Like we had to send people out there to hold down the stage, and the tarp had blown off. It was really a disaster.
Wow.
Which was the works of Jah.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Something that we couldn't even question. You know what I mean? So it was one of them situations. But that year was so much. It was a financial damage to me for that, and it was just like, you know what, I'm gonna ease off of doing that. You know what I mean? And really focus on some other things. So that's where the Peace Concert went.
Wow. You know, it's still a blessing in many ways. You know, the fact that you did that brought people together and just had a vibe and an energy, and people came forward to help and support you as much as they could. So that's a blessing for real.
Yeah. I was thinking job blow it down because I charge the people $20.
Okay.
So I say
okay.
maybe I shouldn't have charged him. If I never did charge the people, probably Jah would have never sent the rain come. You know, because it was already a free concert.
So we've just got a great question from a listener who's locked in. They want to know, why is your name Pressure Busspipe? Because I know before it used to be called Pressure, it went to Pressure Busspipe. So people want to know, how come that happened?
Well, Pressure Busspipe, you know, well, first of all, I gave myself the name Pressure.
Okay.
You know, this is a part of the story I was telling you about when I went ahead to live with my uncle in America. On my return back to the Virgin Islands to finish high school, you know, because I had 2 years to finish high school, and at the last year, at the half of the semester, I begged my mom to send me back to the Virgin Islands so I could graduate at my where all my friends are graduating. I wanted to graduate from my high school. So she sent me back home after I showed much improvement in my academics and stuff like that. You know, she brought me back home, and on my return, my mother and father had separated while I was living abroad. Okay. You know, and I've known my mother and father to be together throughout my whole upbringing. Yeah. You know, so me coming back home, the family was separated. You know, my godfather had passed away and had left my mom with some property and a nice little 1-bedroom wooden house on the avenue. Yeah. You know, so when I came back to the Virgin Islands, you know, my mom gave me that piece of property to stay in because everybody was shattered. My dad went and found an apartment. My mother was living with her mother, with my sister and my brother, and there was not much room, you know, so it just worked out that there was this little 1-bedroom wooden house that was inherited, you know what I mean? Yeah. What a blessing. I stayed there and went to high school. Wow. You know, so imagine I'm in high school and now I see myself as an artist. I come back to the Virgin Islands and I'm not playing the drums anymore. Now I'm an artist, you know. But everybody's still calling me by my real name. Okay. You know what I mean? Yeah. So me and the music I'm writing at the time, because remember I'm listening to like Sizzla, Capleton, Jam Mason, you know, Barry's Hammond. I'm listening to the music that was burning, that fire that captivate I and I in that time. You know, this is like the year 1998, 1999. You know what I mean? I'm listening to like these songs from 95. I'm learning about the culture of Rastafari, and you know, at 14 years old. Wow. You know? So me now is like I can't go on naming Delano. I have to find myself a name, but I didn't want to seek too much, you know? Yeah. So just throughout the school year, finishing out school and stuff, is like I had to pay bills, you know, I had to keep the water on, I had to keep the light on. It wasn't just a wooden house and candles burning, you know what I mean? Yeah, for real. It was actually electricity running through it, so, you know, I had to keep that on. So, you know, I have my little hustle going on in the banks and stuff like that, so making things happen like that, and then going to school and trying to get my academics together and proving to my mother that I'm doing better now, I'm a better person. Yeah. You know? Yeah. And trying to do the music, and it was just a lot of pressure. You know? Yeah. And I just one day said, listen, man, it's best I call myself Pressure, cause it's beer pressure me I deal with. Yeah. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Having to do homework and deal with school, and then trying to fulfill what my heart is, which is doing this artist life, and, you know, then having to really take away from that and go on the blocks and hustle to try to make ends meet. And, you know, my mother would help me out, but it was, you know, I wasn't getting any help from my dad because he wasn't approving of any of what I was doing. Okay. You know what I mean? So it was that situation where I had so much pressure. Yeah. You know, so I decided to call myself Pressure. You know what I mean? and everybody would just start calling me Pressure. Like when people call me that, I'll be like, yo, Pressure is my name, you know? And they would just start to call me Pressure until it just started to soak in, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it just started to soak in, and then one day through the music and you know what I mean, this elderly lady in the community, she asked me what's my name. I guess I look familiar, whatever.
Yeah.
You know? So and I was like, my name is Pressure. And she was like, no, that's not what your parents name you. What's your real name? And through the fire, you know, come at, you know, as a Rasta youth too, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's like, she said, see you, Pressure Busspipe, you know. You know what I mean? And for me, I that was the first time I heard the phrase as a youth.
Okay.
Now, coming to find out, it's an old phrase. It's nothing that I came up with or anything like that, you know?
Yeah.
It's an old phrase that the elders would use or any community would use. I've heard it in different cultures and stuff like that also. But it's an old phrase. So when she said it to me, it was the first time I've heard it, you know?
Wow.
So I would start to use the phrase in songs. You know, I would use Pressure Busspipe in songs and stuff. This is before the world even know Pressure. You know,
Yeah.
this is before Love and Affection.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I would just use the phrase in songs and stuff like that, and people would soon after start to call me Pressure Busspipe.
Wow.
They would call me Busspipe. You know what I mean? Some would just call me Pressure. You know what I mean? It would just be that, you know?
Yeah.
But in the music, like when I release music, I would release music under pressure. You know, it would just be Pressure until lately, I'd say at least for the last 2 or 3 years now, I've been releasing music under Pressure Busspipe.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Because I've realized like there are other entities out there that are called Pressure as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For real.
So I kinda had to like set my thing aside different. So my listeners and my fans will search my music, and some music they won't find it because it would be under Pressure Busspipe.
Yeah.
Or it would be under just Pressure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For real,
So
for real.
that is a little technical difficulties I'm still trying to work out, but it's a long shot.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, that's where Pressure Busspipe come from.
Wow. And then of course, you know, you touched on it then, Love and Affection, that song blew up everywhere. Tell us about that song and how it kind of came about.
Love and Affection is special.
Yeah.
Know? It was really special because it was the first song period I've recorded for Dan Carly, and you know, and it was an exciting moment for me. When I recorded that song, he was in Jamaica and I was in Miami.
Okay.
You know, he got in touch with me through the producer Dean Pan, who produced my first album.
Okay.
Dean Pan at the time was working in Guitar Center in Miami. When Dan comes from Jamaica and he goes to Miami, he would always visit Guitar Center, you know?
Yeah.
And Dean would hook him up with discounts on whatever hardware or software he need or certain things like that. You know, so Dean gave him a copy of my album, you know, and he loved the album. He really loved the album. So he got in touch with me through Dean, and he let me to know, like, you know what I mean, he really loved my work, and he's still in Miami, and he's been listening to the album for over a week now.
Wow.
Like constant. And he had already made up his mind before even reaching out to me that he wants to do an album.
Okay.
So when he got in contact with me, I actually was not in Miami.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I recorded the song, I went to Miami to visit Dean Pan just to record the song.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
So I was actually in Orlando at the time. So when I got the call from Dan, it was very exciting, you know?
Yeah.
So he told me he would send the music to Dean. Them time they I'm not deal with no email, and I'm not really fluent in the computer and them thing there. You know what I mean? So he said he would send the music to Dean and I would get the music. So he sent it to Dean. Dean called me and said, yo, I got the music, you know. I immediately just decided I'm going to drive to Miami. So I got up, jumped in my vehicle, and I drove to Miami.
Yeah.
And spent that weekend with a friend of mine in Miami. I visited Dean. I went to Guitar Center, and Dean had downloaded all the songs, all the rhythms that Dan had sent on a CD. So we went in the back where, you know, Guitar Center has the big speakers on sale, and, you know, you could test out this sound and stuff like that. And he put the CD in, and I was just going through the rhythms in the back of Guitar Center, and I played the first track, it was bad. The second track I heard was the Love and Affection track.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I heard it and I was like, yo, this bad. But when I checked the CD have 13 rhythms on it.
Wow.
It have at least 13 chops on it. So I said, you know what? Let me go ahead, because I immediately, when I heard the rhythm, it was just the second rhythm I've heard thus far.
Yeah.
And when I heard the rhythm, I was like, no, this me feel something about this. You know what I mean?
You
so
just
I
knew.
said, you know what? Let me listen to the rest of the tracks, so I don't just be like all in my head over this and there's something might be even madder than this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
For real.
So I continue to listen to everything else. Everything. So let me say this. Everything that he sent me, all 13 tracks, are on the Love and Affection album.
Yeah.
None of the rhythm them me no left out.
Okay. It was that good.
That was my excitement. So
wow.
if you want to know which 13 rhythms were they, listen to the Love and Affection album. The whole of them did it.
Yeah.
Those were the tracks Dan Carlian sent me, And so going back to what I'm saying, so when I heard the track now and I listened to everything else, it was like nothing couldn't reach the feeling I was having to that rhythm. So I went back to the rhythm, I started listening to it 2 more times. I said, all right, me now stay here, so now for left here, so let me go back at the yard and go and just match this rhythm. I went back at my bedroom yard in Miami, and I spent about 4 hours writing the song. My brethren left about 2-3 times. And every time him come back at the yard, him say, you still dip on this rhythm, you still working on it. It's like, yo, I'm ready to hear something else now, man. It's like, them vibe.
Yeah.
Especially it's like he's my brethren and he believe in me as an artist.
Yeah.
But actually the process, people sometimes can't take the process.
For real.
For make music. So it's like just seeing the process and what I'm coming up with. He's not hearing nothing coming out of my mouth. Him just I hear the rhythm I play over and over and over and over, and it's like him I get tired of it. So when the song done, and me sing it to my brethren, the man say, hey, that tune, that body no pressure.
Yeah.
I say, yo, wait till Dean hear this. I want Dean hear this tune, because if Dean don't like it, we can't send it to Dan.
Yeah, true.
Dean have to like it in order for me to send it to Dan. So I call Dean on the phone and I sing it to Dean over the phone.
Wow.
And Dean say, yo, where you there now? Meet me at the studio. This was just in one setting,
Wow.
Like as soon as I was done writing the song, it seemed like Dean was just getting off of work.
Yeah.
So when he hear the song over the phone and me sing it to him now, him say, yo, where you there now? Meet me at the studio. Make we go voice that no. Yeah. So we reach up at the studio, same time. Me voice the song. Dean went off for the song. Him say, yo, if Dan don't like this, we gonna revamp this and you gonna sing it for me.
Yeah.
This is what Dean tell me. And I say, yo, if Dan don't like this is the baddest tune pressure.
Yeah.
So we send it to Dan. And Dan, his reply by email was like, yo, the baddest thing ever. So now me seeing that response from Dan was like everything I needed.
Yeah, definitely.
It was like, for me now, it was like as a rapper trying to work with Kanye West.
Yeah.
Or even Link, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's like or working with Dr. Dre or somebody.
Yeah.
That was that feeling for me. Like me overcoming the hurdles of not being a Jamaican and how hard it is to be heard, and me coming from a little island from Virgin Islands. It was like all of that went out the window when Dan Carlian said him love my song. Definitely. And he's gonna put it out. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So Dan link me now at this time now. Dean free up the number, me get to talk to Dan straight up, and Dan said him want me to come a yard. Him say him want me come a yard and him want re-record Love and Affection.
Yeah.
And the way the world is here, hear Love and Affection is not the way Love and Affection was first recorded.
Okay.
Dan heard something totally different, which was the hit way. Of course it is, because the world know it to be a hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So the way I had structured the song was totally different. The song didn't start with the chorus. and I started the song with the second verse.
Okay.
The second verse was my first verse.
Yeah.
The first verse was my second verse. It was way out of whack. The song was like, it was just, and they liked it, but Dan liked it enough that he knew exactly what to do with the song.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And how to arrange and deal with it. I didn't really have much knowledge of certain things. So when I come to Yard now and I re-record the song, it was the way he told me to. And from that day I learned that. So even in my writing and my delivering music, it always take me back to what Dan taught me about music, you know, especially knowing that the chorus itself was such a big chorus.
Yeah.
He's like, don't make the people wait for that. Put it in first. Make it start the song.
For real.
If that start the song, you get the forward and you're good.
Yeah.
That's what you want, the forward. So I never think about no forward, you know, I think about music, you know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True.
So me learn them things there, you know what I mean? So I saw Love and Affection come out. When he released Love and Affection, I think it was months later, and it was history for me. Wow. You know, it was history.
Yeah.
It was like, you know, my first show ever was like a month after it was released in Freeport. Wow. You know, and I've never had my own concert in another island where where everybody's coming, you know, to see this show. It was a great feeling to me, you know what I mean? But it wasn't the feeling like I've made it, you know? It wasn't that feeling. It was that feeling as if like yes, like I'm on the road and I'm on the right road now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Definitely.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, I'm definitely on the right path right now, but I can't stop now. You know, this won't be the end of me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though Love and Affection gets so huge, you know, like people forget the Pressure have more music.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And Pressure Busspipe have so much music. You know, I'm actually, without apology, one of the most consistent artists with music.
Yeah.
You know, regardless if it get promotion or if it reach in your playlist or what. Like if you really in tune with Pressure Busspipe, you would be overwhelmed with the amount of music Pressure Busspipe have and has released. True. You know what I mean? Definitely. So for me now, it's like that's part of the work. You know, to continue treading and making great music and don't stop. People like this, they will like this more, they will like this less, you know, and that's just all a part of the journey. It's all a part of the market, you know.
Yeah.
It's what you want in the market.
Yeah,
you know?
Definitely. For real, for real. And you know, we've got this great album coming out, Heights of Greatness. Tell us about this album, how many tracks, how it came about.
Yeah, so this album definitely is dear to my heart because, you know, this is definitely a family of producers album. You know, like my last album that I released, Rebel with a Cause, it was basically the production was one production team.
Yeah.
But I featured many artists, you know, on that album. This album, it's two artists I'm featuring, but many different producers. Yeah. You know, so I was able to stretch out the production and bring something together, you know, with people that I've created great music with. You know, big up to Frenchie. I say big ups to Dean Pun, big up to Zionai Kings, big up to Don Carlian, again, big up to Sugar Rai, you know what I mean, big up to Masai, you know, so much, like, it's well rounded with production. Big up to Kabaka Pyramid and the whole Bevel Rock team, because he's on the album as an artist and a producer as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's well rounded with production. So I'm truly grateful that I'm being able to bring forward this body of work that would elevate people in so many different ways, you know, from the young and the old. Heights of Greatness, you know what I mean? Definitely. Clean album and upright in a manner, you know?
For real. And you know, one of the tunes that I absolutely love is Everything I Need. I need to know where your head was when you were singing that tune, because wow.
Yeah, you know, I'm not going to even fabricate anything, you know, and just keep it real. You know, I was basically listening to the music and responding to the music. You know, I felt like, you know, this rhythm needs something that would uplift people. It needs something that would make people happy.
Yeah.
You know, it needs that kind of element. You know, usually a producer would reach out to me and say, "Yo, Pressure, I want you put a love song on this year because they like my lovers rock music."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or sometimes a producer would say, "Look, whatever you feel, give me what you feel." You know what I mean? And Frenchie is one producer that always allow me to be myself on music. You know what I mean? He would never tell me like, "Yo, well, this is the way the rhythm are going, or everybody I do this, you know, so do this." You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
he always appreciate everything I bring to the table. So this rhythm in particular really hit me in a way where I felt like, you know, like I need to speak about myself as well. You know, I need to be a mirror for myself.
Yeah.
Because more time we live in a world where we want so much, you know, and we already have. You know, they're not things that we need. We're always in search of things that we want, and always trying to possess, and we're always trying to acquire, you know. And it was just that moment for me where I felt like this needs to be on record, you know.
Yeah,
this needs to be heard. We need to know that, you know, once we have life and we have air to breathe, we have everything we need. And of course we need food, and we need clothes, and we need shelter. But with these very simple things I'm talking about, you have the means to create anything.
Yeah, definitely.
You have the means to create anything. Life is the greatest gift. The breath of fresh air, it's the greatest gift. So once you have life, you have the means to create everything. You have the means to even lose your mind as well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a powerful thing. Life is the greatest gift. So when people come back to knowing that, you know what I mean? And knowing that, what does it take a man to profit the world and lose the soul, and lose his own soul?
Yeah.
You know? Like, you can gain the whole world and lose your soul with it. I don't want to lose my soul.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I definitely don't want to lose my soul. So me not sell my soul to nothing more than goodness and the mercy of Jah.
For real.
Alone. You know what I mean? And everything else have to walk in line, you know.
Definitely.
Everything else have to walk in line. You know what I mean? So with being saying that, you know, I'm comfortable with knowing that I have everything I need. You know, and even being so now, me start look wrong on everything what me have.
Yeah.
And certain things I did want so bad, and as I got it, it just there now.
Yeah.
It's like some shoes, me get it and say, "Yo, I forget them shoes there, you know." And it take me all a month to get the shoes, and as me wear them 2 times,
yeah,
me no wear them again.
True.
You know what I mean?
So true.
You know
definitely.
What I mean? So it's like certain things, it's like you get it, and then when you don't want it no more, you stack it on the shelf.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't really need a lot of things. You know, simplicity is everything.
Yeah.
You know, so you know what I mean? I realize that, you know, I don't need to keep up an image for nobody. I'm not in no image contest with nobody. I just Jah me I work with. I'm not in nothing with nobody. If I see something I like and I can afford it, I get it, and then I just enjoy life. But you know, the very necessity is, man, you have to know what you are doing in life. You know what I mean? Survival is everything. It's the very thing.
Definitely, you know? Definitely. And you know, this great album is going to premiere on the 27th of August. And so will it be on every platform so the listeners can go and check it out?
Every platform.
Okay.
As much as I know, Amazon, the Apple Music, Google Play, it's a long list. You already know the streaming services. They're out there. Pressure Busspipe, Heights of Greatness.
Yeah, man, definitely.
August 27th, it's a go mad. You know
man, it's gonna be crazy.
Myself, I'm more excited than I created the music. You know what I mean? But my excitement comes from what the fans are in store for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And when they get it, that's what's gonna make me happy.
For real.
Know, that food. You know, it's like you're a chef, you know what I mean? And when you look around and everybody I eat the whole of your plate.
Yeah.
And the plate all down to nothing, and then you can smile as a chef.
Yeah, for real, definitely.
So that's my excitement, to know that what the people are gonna get, they're gonna really enjoy.
Definitely, for real. And you know, as well, just to announce for everybody, we're going to be live on IG on the same day. Okay, so you guys are going to hear some of the tunes, if not all the tunes, if possible. And we're going to premiere this great album. So make sure you go and support, go and show love to Pressure Busspipe. And you know what, Pressure? They're asking you my listeners, if you wouldn't mind singing a little something. Would you be up for that?
I don't mind. Can they request something? Because I don't know what to sing. If you're gonna ask me to sing, you gotta tell me which song you wanna hear me sing.
Okay, let me see. Some of them are asking for Africa Love, and some of them are asking for the actual title of the album, Heights of Greatness.
Okay, so since it's 2 songs, which one would you prefer?
Okay, I think we should go with Heights of Greatness, just because that's the name of the album. That's what we're doing, man. Definitely.
Heights of Greatness, Selassie, I a king and none can reach the level. Born in Ethiopia, that did balance the heaven. What a fulfillment in Psalms 87. Rastaman, you're unconquerable. Heights of Greatness, Emmanuel, a priest, and John Pope, the devil. See me?
Wow. Rastafari. Wow, Pressure Busspipe. You know what? It's been a blessing. I've enjoyed speaking with you. I could speak with you all day. I could ask you questions all day, all night. And that's for the IG. Once again, people, make sure you go and support this great album. It's coming out on the 27th of August. It's going to be everywhere. I'm looking forward for the listeners as well, and I cannot wait. Is there any final words for now that you would like to say to your listeners, Pressure Busspipe?
Yeah, I want to say thank you, for all your support all the years, you know what I mean? The people who've been supporting Pressure Busspipe, you truly know that you can depend on the music, the music is definitely for the heart and soul, and to remind people of who we are and where we're coming from, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's like I tell people, say it's a marketplace, It's like you're going to the market, there's so many things in the market. You can buy candy, you can buy potato chips, you can buy canned food, you can buy frozen products, you can buy whole heap of things, the liquor section, you have the winery, you have the prescription section, different stuff. Just don't forget the vegetable section.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Definitely.
Don't go around the vegetable section, the part where really I heal you up and make you feel good and what is going to do better for the system. You know what I mean?
True.
Yeah, because don't make everything buy out and the vegetable section still did it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a marketplace. So for me now the music is healing, Don't forget what really matters. Don't forget the healing part of the music. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people are caught up in the world and just on a fast-paced life, and they only run to the doctor when things go wrong. Yeah. But they don't prevent certain things by just doing right all the time.
Yeah, for true, definitely.
I mean? Yeah, do right all the while. That means that when you do right all the while, if you decide to cheat now and eat piece of candy, eat piece of potato chips, nothing wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah, because I just a life go, because nothing can tamper with the amount of good way you do.
Yeah, true, definitely. I mean?
But if a bad you do, the little bit where you do good, it nah match up.
Yeah, true, definitely.
You see me? So, yeah, man, just think about positive, I mean, be creative, be yourself in all aspect, you know what I mean? You don't know, and as we say, August 27th, Heights of Greatness.
Yes.
Don't miss.
For real.
Get yours,
Definitely.
Download, stream, the whole light.
Yeah, man, for real. And you know what? I just wanted to say thank you to you, bringing the time, the energy to the airwaves of the station, outradio.com. It's always a blessing. And like I said, I'm looking forward to the 27th for some more great energy from yourself.
More love, more blessings. DJKat, love.
Love, definitely. Have a blessed rest of the day, and we'll speak again, I'm sure.
Same to the eye, most def.
Bless. Yes, people, please do go and support Pressure Busspipe. Go and show him some love. Go and check out the tunes that are already out as well. Okay, it's called Heights of Greatness. Go and check it out. Go and see what he's all about. This one right now is, of course, called Everything I Need. Okay, take a listen, feel the vibes. Here we go.
I remember Papa said, simplicity and weed. Granny said, the put where your hand can reach. What does it gain to profit the world and lose their soul? Cause when it's your time, the riches won't go up. What is unseen, it should not be told. Not everything that material that not go lost. When you get tired, I need to place it on your shelf. Your health should be your wealth. Look in the mirror, how you see yourself.